Happy World Suicide Prevention Day. Welcome to mental health class. It's a subject topic. Today we're going to talk about 5 myths about people who are suicidal. But before we get into it, might I remind you why it is that I talk about mental health? Because I, Juliet Angelique Bodley, aka Julie Mango, attempted suicide 3 times and I self-mutilated for almost 30 years of my life in the form of self-cutting. Achoo! Let's do the dance, shall we? Now next one up here. So myth number 1. People who are suicidal are selfish and only thinking about themselves. This is not true. In fact, a suicidal person often thinks the world is a better place without them. We would look at our family members and see them looking stressed out and say, you know that they would be better off without me. Myth numero 2. People who are suicidal are just seeking attention. Now my answer to this is kind of twofold. Because we are not seeking attention in a narcissistic, vain or greedy way. We are actually crying out for help. When someone is choking, they use their last breath to try and cry out for help. When somebody don't understand a maths question, them ask for help. Then it's the same way in which if you are having suicidal thoughts, you are going to ask and reach out for help. Myth number 3. A person who talks about suicide or has a failed suicide attempt doesn't really want to do it. Lie! When I attempted my car crash in 2011 in Montego Bay, I sped my car up, yanked the steering to the right, my car flipped on its side, skated into the oncoming traffic, and ended up in a ditch on all fours. At the time, not only was I disappointed, but I felt like a failure at living and a failure at dying. You don't feel like you were saved. You feel helpless and trapped and unable to end your own excruciating pain. Myth numero 4. Only people with mental health disorders are suicidal. That's not so. Suicidal ideation, no partial to nobody. Anyone can feel suicidal. Myth number 5. If you ask someone if they are thinking of killing themselves, it will cause them to think of killing themselves. Research has shown that this is false. That might in fact do the opposite. They will actually feel like it's a safe space to talk. You could actually save someone's life by asking that question. As a person who has healed from suicidal ideation and suicidal tendencies, is it possible for me to still have suicidal thoughts? Of course! Let's take this thing for The difference is, now I have different coping mechanisms and I am able to now do this because of years of therapy with a psychotherapist, and my medication was administered by a psychiatrist. My official diagnosis is borderline personality disorder. I live with it every day, and my treatment was dialectical behavioral therapy. So I don't know, you can promise now no pian therapy. If you are feeling suicidal in any type of way, reach out to somebody. Don't call out it in your craft. Okay, well that's it. I love you guys. Mwah. Bam.